Hey there, it's me again. In this episode of our Catechism for Kids series, we honor Blessed Ignatius de Azevedo. His feast day we celebrate on July 16th. Azevedo was born in Portugal in 1526. As an adult, quickly became a leader in the Jesuit order, and was appointed to supervise the Jesuit mission to the Portuguese colonies in Brazil. Despite the dangers there, he immediately set sail and stayed there for 2 years. Then he returned to Portugal to get more men. Father Ignatius de Azevedo experienced so much potential for evangelization in Brazil that he successfully recruited Jesuits from Spain and Portugal to serve as missionaries. This great hope ended in disaster when French Huguenot corsairs intercepted the Portuguese flotilla carrying the Jesuits and slaughtered the missionaries. Father de Azevedo established St. Anthony's College in Lisbon and St. Paul's College in Braga, Portugal, before Father General Francis Borgia appointed him visitor to Brazil. He arrived in Bahia in 1566 and spent 2 years traversing the country and visiting Jesuit schools and missions to evaluate their work and see how they could best be helped. His report praised the Brazilian enterprise, but noted the shortage of men. Father Borgia appointed him provincial of Brazil and sent him to recruit missionaries from the Spanish and Portuguese provinces. He gathered around 70 volunteers, some of whom were priests, but most of whom were scholastics and even just novices. Azevedo gathered the diverse group for 5 months of preparation near Lisbon, before setting sail on June 5, 1570 in 7 ships and a caravel that left Lisbon for the Madeira Islands off the coast of Africa. They arrived a week later. Rumors that French corsairs threatened the nearby ocean kept the travelers in port until finally the captain of the Santiago, ship carrying Father de Azevedo and 43 companions, decided to take a chance on sailing for the island of La Palma. 4 of the Jesuits elected not to remain on board. Given the threat of being captured and killed by the French, the voyage started peacefully with calm seas and a favorable wind. But then the wind changed as the Santiago approached La Palma Island, and its captain decided to enter the bay at Tazacorte. After some debate about an overland trip to the port of Santa Cruz de La Palma, where the missionaries could get a ship for Brazil, Azevedo decided to sail to that port. 2 days later, they caught sight of sails on the horizon, which turned out to be French ships under the command of a French pirate, Jacques Saury. The French ships were much quicker than the Santiago and easily caught it. 3 pirates boarded the Portuguese vessel but were killed. Then the ships moved apart and Azevedo brought up a painting of Our Lady that Pope Pius V had personally given him. He set it up next to the main mast and led people in prayers. When the pirates succeeded in boarding the ship, they attacked the Jesuit, slashing his head and body with swords, then throwing overboard both the Jesuit and the painting he still held. The pirates then searched the ship for anyone wearing a black cassock. They killed some outright and cut off the arms of others and threw them overboard to drown. Once Saury controlled the ship, he had the remaining Jesuits thrown into the sea. Simon da Costa was spared on that first day of slaughter because he was not wearing a cassock, having been a Jesuit for only a few weeks. When the French corsair interviewed the crew the day after he captured the ship, da Costa revealed that he was also a missionary. Saury ordered him beheaded and thrown into the sea. The only Jesuit to survive was John, who was spared because the pirates needed a cook. He remained on board the captured ship until it docked in the pirates' home port, La Rochelle, France. After he escaped, he made his way to Portugal, where he told his fellow Jesuits the story of the martyrdom of Azevedo and his companions. The most dominant emotion in our modern society is fear. We are afraid of rejection and failure, afraid of losing the things we have worked hard to, afraid of criticism, afraid of certain parts of town, afraid of certain types of people, afraid of suffering and heartache, afraid of change, afraid to tell people how we really feel. Fear has a tendency to imprison us. Fear paralyzes the human spirit. What do you fear? Do not be afraid. Jesus used this phrase more than any other phrase, and it is the most common saying in the entire Bible. Between the New and the Old Testament, the phrase appears more than 1,000 times. Few of us will face the same threats Blessed Ignatius de Azevedo did, but every day we all have to face our fears in one form or another. What's the opposite of fear? The opposite of fear is confidence. In this context, the source of that confidence would be trust. Trust in God. The antidote for fear is trust. On our money, it says, "In God we trust." But do we? And if we don't trust God, in whom are we placing our trust? This is a very important question, because let me tell you, if we don't trust God, we have very good reason to be anxious, afraid, stressed, and all out petrified. Ask God to increase your trust and confidence in Him. Look back on your life and identify times when God was at work in your life. And trust that He is working in your life right now. Let's now finish with a beautiful prayer. Dear Jesus, you called Blessed Ignatius de Azevedo and his companions to be missionaries in distant lands. Give us the courage to follow you, even when it means leaving our comfort zone and going to places we've never been. Help us to be witnesses of your love and compassion, bringing your message of hope to those who need it most. May their example inspire us to live out our faith boldly and generously, knowing that with you, nothing is impossible. Amen. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And remember to turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.